Hi, everyone. Welcome. It's Katie with Beauty for All Colors, and I am so excited to have you with me this evening for my Love Your Body webinar. I'm going to be sharing some juicy secrets with you, and I am just so grateful that you feel like you deserve to take this time for yourself because you do. And believing that you deserve to take time for yourself is what is going to propel your transformation. So just keep that in mind. That is so fabulous. And if you're listening to the recording later, same thing applies. Just thank you for taking time for yourself and really pat yourself on the back for that. So before I jump into the secrets, I will share a little about Beauty for All Colors and my own story. Um, Beauty for All Colors is my contribution to enhance women's confidence. So what I do is I coach women on their relationship with their beauty and their relationship with their bodies. And some of what I do is makeup tutorials, some confidence coaching, some image consulting, and also, as we're going to talk about tonight, some coaching around mindfulness and eating and your relationship with your body and being in movement. And I just love all of it. As far as my personal story and my relationship with my body, I'm somebody who had, up to a point, up to my turning point, a tumultuous relationship with my body. I emotionally ate. I didn't realize that I was doing it, but I reached for the ice cream or the chips or the pizza or whatever every time I didn't want to feel an emotion, a negative emotion that I was feeling, sometimes a positive emotion, but most certainly to avoid negative emotions. I would eat ice cream so that I could feel love. I would eat ice cream so that I could feel joy or so that I could feel pleasure. And I know I'm not the only one. I know many of you have the same experience and you don't even believe that it's possible to have any other experience than that. I'm somebody who was always told that I was always going to be big boned. So I believed that there was really no point for me to diet because it was never going to make a difference. And even though I tried to do it, I felt like a failure all the time because I just could not stick with it. I wasn't like as diligent as everyone else or something. And it just made me feel horrible about myself. So suffice to say, I spent, a solid, 27 years feeling pretty horrible about my relationship with my body and my relationship with food. And I did not believe, again, that there was any other way to be. I just thought, I'm just always going to be outside the success spectrum. I'm never going to be a dieter. There's no diet that works for me or that I love. And that's just that. I am always going to be fat. Like, this was my conclusion. If this is your conclusion, again, you are not alone. It is not your fault if dieting doesn't work for you because the reality is dieting does not work. So to clarify my point, it produces a result in time. So if you, choose to diet, you will probably see that you lose a bit of weight or a lot of weight so long as you stay on the diet. The moment that you stop dieting, that's when you gain it all back. And isn't it a shame? I mean, all of the effort, all of the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into restricting yourself, into following this diet, whether it's prescribed to you by a doctor, whether it's prescribed to you, through a book or through a weight loss program, whatever it is, you put all that work in, you get this result, and you don't get to cherish it or hold on to it because you're either concerned that you're going to gain the weight back, and so you still hold on to the diet mentality, or, you let go of the diet mentality and decide, okay, I'm here, I've arrived. And it's just heartbreaking when you gain it back. So tonight we're going to talk about how to avoid that happening in your life ever again. Yes, I said it. So yeah, I'm super excited about this topic. I have been passionate about transforming women's relationships with their bodies since I learned how to do the same for myself. Again, believe me when I say I did not have any reason to believe that any other way of being was possible for me than what I had been doing. And it was a major wake-up call for me to realize that I could actually have life on my terms, that I could actually enjoy eating, eat what I want to eat, and truly not worry about it. And so we'll talk about how to do that again tonight. So I also have a Q&A window. So if you have any questions, feel free to submit them and I will try to save time for them. I'm going to try to keep this webinar to under an hour. And so again, just thank you for being here and let's get started. So let me get one of my nifty slides. So my first point that I'm going to cover is to stop beating yourself up now over not having the body that you want. So that's where we start. So let me get my slide. Nifty, huh? Right? Can you see that there? Right. So that may have been backwards for you. Sorry about that. But I just wanted to try to play with the slides. So yeah, so stop beating yourself up over not having the body that you want. When you operate from a place of self-criticism, you notice that it takes you 10 times as much effort to do anything. And that's applicable to any, area of your life. It's not just applicable to, mindfulness around eating or losing weight or whatever it is. I mean, that applies anywhere. And so the first thing I'll say is stop beating yourself up. Find reasons to be grateful for the body that you have right now. This doesn't mean that you have to be completely happy with it as it is, but express gratitude to your body every day. This body carries you where you want to go. Most likely, you're able to walk where you want to go. Most likely, you're able to digest food. Most likely, you're able to conduct your business in the world, more or less, with grace and ease. And your body makes that possible. And so the first thing that I'm going to recommend is that you do a gratitude list every single day of why you love your body. Even, again, if there are things that you don't love about your body, that's okay. You can simultaneously acknowledge what you do love about your body. So again, a gratitude list every day, 3 to 5 things that you love about your body. And it could simply be, I love my body because it means that I'm able to exist in the world. It could be, I love my body because it's strong enough to, carry me when I want to walk across the room. It could be very simple. It could be very grand, whatever it is. But you must acknowledge your body for how it serves you now in order to shift out of restriction. Because a body that you love, you would never want to punish through restriction. So we start with loving the body today. Another thing is that I am not a big believer in having weight loss goals. So by that, I mean, a lot of times the way that people motivate into losing weight is, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds by December. I want to lose 100 pounds in 18 months, whatever it is. And I think it's okay to have that in mind, but I don't want that to be the motivating factor, because then you'll measure success based on that. And success is really the ability to have a body that's healthy and have it be continuously healthy. So have it be healthy and not have to diet each time you feel like you want it to be healthier. So drop the story around needing to lose weight in a specific amount of time is my point. And just focus on how you are in movement right now. And we'll get to the part about movement in just a moment. So your task is clear. You can love your body today by simply just doing a gratitude list and starting with that. And that'll be enough to start. So let me get my next slide, which I believe is also going to be backwards. Sorry about that. So there we go. Incorporate regular movement in your life. So you already know that exercise is critical, right? Well, I don't even really like the word exercise. And truthfully, for most of my life, I didn't like to exercise. It just felt like work. everyone would talk about, oh, you need to exercise, you know, you're overweight, you need to exercise, you need to exercise, you need to exercise. It just sounded like this punishment that was being inflicted on me for the fact that I was packing a few pounds. And what I want to encourage you to do is to incorporate the joy of being in motion. So, motion should be something that happens for you every single day. In fact, it should be something that's so regular for you that it's exceptional if you are not in motion. So let me clarify what I mean by that. So there's certainly the ways that you already know you could be in motion, like signing up for a class that you really love, or, you know, taking a walk during your break. You know, I always say 10 minutes of motion is better than no minutes. And then you're done for the day. You're in movement for the day and your body feels better. So you pick something or a few different somethings that you want to do and make it a goal to just be in motion every day. It doesn't have to be working out. It doesn't have to be exercising. It doesn't have to be any of those traditional things that you think of. Just be in motion in a way that feels good to you. If there's a beautiful park you can go to, if there's a beautiful street in your neighborhood, if there's somewhere where you can be where you enjoy the experience of being in motion, that's even better because then you'll enjoy doing it that much more. Or if there's a group class that you can join, I recommend that. But your goal is to be in motion and don't make it something that you won't do. Make it something that you can easily build in to your life. So, and it doesn't have to be one something. So the other thing too is adding it in little pieces makes it so much easier, and then you don't even realize you're doing it. So adding in a walk, a 5-minute walk, a 10-minute walk, you know, during your morning break, and then during your afternoon break, maybe another little walk, or doing one at lunch, taking the stairs when you can. Those things add up, you know, taking your niece and nephew to the park on Saturday and, you know, playing ball with them or, you know, chasing them around or whatever. That's being in motion. And it doesn't feel like exercise, it doesn't feel like work. You know, truthfully, being in motion at times will take work because you may not feel like doing it. And so you just tell yourself, you know, 10 minutes is better than no minutes. If I don't want to do this anymore after 10 minutes, I don't have to do it. Okay. You have permission to stop being in motion after 10 minutes, but give yourself at least that 10 minutes each day. What you may notice is that once you're in the motion for the 10 minutes, that you keep going, that you know, enjoy what you're doing. And you're like, you know, I'm already here, or I'm already walking, or I'm already at class or whatever. And you just decide you want to keep going. But nonetheless, make your goal to be in motion every day and make it, you know, at least 10 minutes a day. And don't bother with the measurement. Just, you know that it's been 10 minutes, and, you know, just know that if you need to walk away at 10 minutes, you've done what you wanted to do for the day. And so that's how to make it regular, is to just make it easy, simple, manageable. If there has been a class that you've wanted to try, you can also see if there's an introductory session to, you know, for free, to see if, you know, maybe it's something you want to invest in, or maybe it's not. You know, I don't feel like you have to do, like, bust out the personal trainer, you know, go to the fancy class, you know, go to the yoga, go to everything all at once. You can just start with walking 10 minutes a day and then build from there. So you really just want to start with something that you know that you'll actually be able to do, so that you feel encouraged, and then you keep going. And don't worry about if you're losing weight while you're doing it. The point is to be in motion, and the rest will follow. So make sure I don't have any questions really quick. Okay. Okay, I do have a question. So the person says, Katie, what do I do if, you know, I exercise, but the weight still doesn't come off? How do I continue to exercise? Okay. That's a good question. So this is all about mindset shift. So I don't know physiologically what's going on with you if you have like a medical issue or something like that, and maybe that's something you want to rule out to see if you have a thyroid issue or some other reason why, if you feel like you're exercising a moderate amount and you also feel like you're being mindful with your diet, that you're still not seeing, your body shifting the pounds. But the other thing that I'll say is sometimes it takes a while for your body to decide to release what it's been holding on to. That's both spiritually and, literally. So, sometimes it takes longer than you'd think for the body to decide, okay, I can let go of this excess. And so one point to drive home is, as much as we talk about overnight success in our society, truthfully, what matters is that you find something that works for you, something that you're going to be able to do, hopefully for a long period of time, and something that doesn't make you feel like crap doing it. So even though there are other ways that you might be able to, kick it up into gear and do like a boot camp and no offense to a boot camp, but I mean, there may be ways that you could, you know, make your loss more rapid. But in doing that, you could end up causing yourself more harm than good, because then you find that you can't sustain what it took to get there and then to maintain it. And so I'm really about finding something, again, that works for you, being patient about it, and allowing yourself to just be one with the process, and then noticing that your body actually does respond. That's why, again, letting go of those goals, letting go of the like 20 pounds by December, or 50 pounds by March or whatever, really helps with that, because then you don't feel that pressure. You're just like, okay, I already love my body for what it is today, even though there are things I'm unhappy with. I'm in motion every day. I'm mindful about, what I eat and what makes my body feel good. And I'm going to show myself compassion. And eventually my body will transform. And that's the faith that you have. But again, back to my original point is talk to your doctor and just rule out any other medical concerns. But, great question. So let me get my next high-tech slide. All right. So what does this one say? Yeah. So drop the diets. They don't work. I could say that every day, every hour of every day, every minute of every day. Again, diets work for a specific point in time. But to me, that doesn't really mean that they work. So even though they do produce an immediate result, or let me put it this way, even though they produce a guaranteed result, it doesn't necessarily get you where you want to be, because where you ultimately want to be is to feel good in your body for the long term. You don't want to have to then pick up another diet 6 months later because you lost all of the results that you put so much effort into. And then you feel like crap every time you stray from the diet, and you feel like you just cannot fully enjoy your life. You can't fully enjoy the results. You can't fully enjoy your body because you're worried about when you're going to gain the weight back. So what I have to say is to just drop the diets. So it's like, okay, how do you do that? When I reached my point of transition, it was because a friend of mine had referred a book to me by the author Janine Roth, and it was all about the relationship between intuitive eating and mindfulness, and why we emotionally eat, and just exploring all of those things. We don't have time to go into all of that on this webinar, but the alternative to dieting, well, actually, I would say the preferred way of life to dieting is to say, I get to make the choice to not restrict myself, to not cut myself off from life. And that works both ways. So if you are in a pattern of emotional eating, and emotional eating doesn't have to be super deep and serious. For some of us, it is. It is deep and serious, and it's roots from childhood and or painful experiences in adulthood or what have you. But for some people, it has to do with being in a rush all the time and eating in the car on the way to work and, eating lunch at the desk and eating dinner in the car on the way back home from work. Things like that will cause you to take on excess pounds a lot of times because you're just not being mindful when you eat. So you just don't know when you're full. And what intuitive eating teaches you is to know when you're full. And if you know when you're full, you have a much more greater ability to enjoy your food and to not eat in excess so that you're not taking on, excess calorie. How to intuitively eat is a little challenging to teach in the general sense. That's why in my coaching, I do, an individualized plan so that I can actually show you, okay, for you specifically with your lifestyle and your, time restrictions and, what you have going on and the things that you like to eat and whatever, here's what I would instruct you to do. But nevertheless, in general, intuitive eating really happens when you slow down enough to notice what you're eating. So what it requires is that you actually stop and think before you purchase food, before you sit down to your meal, or when you're selecting your meal. When you're going through your meal, you actually slow down and chew your food and really notice what it feels like, what it tastes like. um, you know Crazy thing, I think I discovered, I was like, I don't know that I like macaroni and cheese that much, even though like the smell of it is absolutely amazing and I still order it from time to time. I tell you what, at some point I was practicing intuitive eating and I was like, this doesn't really taste like anything to me. This is crazy. Like, I never really paid attention before, but now that I know something doesn't really taste like anything, there's not really a point of me eating it. So it happens in this way where you start to slow down, and again, you give yourself patience around that, because there's going to be times when you still have to rush through your day. You wish you could slow down, but you can't at this meal. Okay, we have compassion around the fact that life happens and it may not be realistic for you in the first place for you to slow down for every single meal of every day, but just know that slowing down to eat allows you to be present with your food and allows you to know if you've had enough food, and then therefore prevents you from eating more than what you intend to. And the other thing with the dropping of the dieting is I raised my hand and said no more restriction. When I was I've said I was never really a dieter. When I was in college, I ended up dating somebody who told me that I would look better if I lost a few pounds, and I fell into that trap really quickly. And I was motivated. In one quarter, I think I lost, I don't know, 20 or 25 pounds, which a quarter, it's about 3 months. That's not totally unreasonable, but that's pretty quick for something to be, lasting and done in what I would consider to be like a healthy way. And I was terrified of putting that weight back on. Terrified. I mean, forget intuitive eating. It was really about how not diet in the traditional sense. There wasn't a prescribed plan, but it was about restriction. It was about, okay, let me keep myself from having any pleasure in food whatsoever, because if I enjoy my food, I might eat too much of it and therefore gain all this weight back and make this work not worth any of my time. So I experienced a few years of just being detached from food. Although I was thin, I didn't enjoy it. I just did not enjoy it. So my weight eventually came back, like, to the fullest extent. I mean, I ended up back at the heaviest I'd ever been. And then, with a resistance to ever thinking about mindfulness, quote unquote, around food, because I didn't want to think about food anymore, because I just felt like if I think about food, I'm having to do too much work and I'm not enjoying it, and I would rather enjoy it. So when I embarked on intuitive eating, I knew I want to be able to enjoy what I eat. I do not want to have to restrict. And so if that means that my body's going to reflect those decisions, so be it. I did not set a particular weight loss goal. I had one that I thought that I might like, that might work for me, but I had no idea if it was going to be possible given the parameters that I just mentioned, because I thought only dieting produced results. I had no idea if just eating like a normal person could produce any results. And I set the intention to be in motion unless there was some pressing, extenuating circumstance that kept me from being in motion. And I told my body that I loved it every single day. I repeat that, every single day. No, I was not satisfied with the way that it looked, but I told it that I loved it every single day. I was like, I will never restrict you again. I never liked diet soda, but for example, I was like, there will never be any diet anything in your mouth again. If you want non-fat milk, go, we'll go for it, but I know you don't like it, so we're not going to drink that. And it allowed me to trust myself, which is what intuitive eating tends to do. It just allows you to trust yourself, so that, especially if you have been a dieter your whole life or for a lot of your life, you are going to come up against the resistance of trusting. Your body may not trust you, and you probably don't trust your body. And so that takes a little bit of work to get some equilibrium again. But you can get it again if you slow down. You say, I'm not going to push you further than what you can do as far as the movement is concerned, and I'm not going to restrict you. And then you actually have to drop the drama. You have to drop the diet in order to see progress and results with the intuitive eating. The two do not coexist. You cannot then turn around and restrict, because then your body won't trust you, you won't trust it, and then you'll have to diet in order to have the result. A long-winded way of saying intuitive eating is marvelous, it's wonderful, it takes trust, and it takes a little bit of time to set into place. But it's simple to do. It can be done. Just reserve a little extra time during your meals. Slow down enough to notice how your body feels when you eat anything, when you eat a particular food, the way that it tastes, the way that it smells, and the way that you actually feel afterward. Do you feel like crap after you eat Chinese food? Well, then maybe, it doesn't mean that you don't ever eat it, but maybe you don't eat it when you have to then go back to work. Like for me, I discovered that, there were some things that just made me feel, pizza made me feel awful. So to have pizza at lunch was a huge price to pay. To have pizza during dinner, not as much of a price. It's still a price to pay. But pizza during lunch is a huge price to pay, one that I was almost never willing to pay. And I just discovered that. And it wasn't that I took my option away from eating it. It's that I just became aware that the price to pay wasn't caloric. It was in feeling sluggish. It was in feeling like I got cramps in my sides from, the cheese and whatever. It was in feeling almost like lightheaded from all the crust. I mean, doesn't mean that I've never had a pizza lunch since, but it just kept me a lot more mindful about what was going to keep me being as productive as I might want to be during the day, or as feeling as good as I might want to be during the day. And, those decisions naturally align with, pounds coming off of your body. They just do. It doesn't mean that I thought that I was, being good by not eating pizza. I dropped that shit. There's no more being good and being bad. There's no more of that when you drop the drama with the dieting. Nothing you do is bad, and nothing you do is particularly good. It just is. It just is. So you just choose to exist, and you choose to love yourself regardless of what you ate today, and regardless of what the scale says. And it's totally possible to do. So, nowadays I I do still, like to this day, the people who know me know this very well. I do still eat whatever I want. But it just so happens that I'm not as inclined to eat certain things. Like I just don't have as much of a desire for them naturally. It's not out of restriction. It's not out of being like, well, I know that's unhealthy for me. I don't care. I will eat it if I desire to eat it because that's the covenant I made with myself. But I also know that at the end of the day, what I want is to feel good in my body. What I want is to feel like I can be in movement. What I want is to feel light and airy and expansive and present. And so I'm able to do that in being mindful. So let's see. Next slide. Let's get these backwards. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Wish these weren't backwards. Sorry about that. I didn't even think about the fact that would happen. But you get the point. So feeling good in your skin now. Okay. This one's, I think, the most straightforward, but it's in some ways the most challenging one to get. I tell my clients, look, you have desires to have your body look a different way than it does now. You have things that you have said that you will do in your life when your body looks different than it does. That's great, but the only time in which you live is right now. So, for example, saying that you're postponing taking that vacation that you want to go on until you lose the weight is telling yourself you don't deserve it because you're not thin enough. You may not think of it that way, but that's exactly what you're doing. And that leads to mistrust between yourself and your body. You waiting to get that beautiful cerulean blouse that you saw, maybe you don't like cerulean, but you know what I mean, to get that beautiful blouse that you saw in the store, or, those like gorgeous, juicy jeans that would just make you feel so good and so hot to trot. You waiting to get those until you lose the weight is you telling yourself you don't deserve to have it. Again, when you do that, you are telling yourself, I'm not good enough today. I have to wait till tomorrow when I'm better. Stop doing that. Even if you are in the process of losing weight and you're only able to wear those, $150 jeans for a month and a half, I don't care. In that month and a half, you will be that much more inclined to put yourself out there into the world in the way that you desire to, which is more likely to keep you going on your path in your body transformation, which is more likely to get you where you ultimately desire to be. And it's more likely to make you feel how you want to feel in the world, to give you that end result that you desire in the here and now, before your body's transformed. So you have no reason to wait on the things that are important to you. Again, this is what I hear all of the time from you guys, all the time. I will start dating when okay. I understand why. It is not your fault if you feel like you need to wait. You are programmed to think that if you're carrying an excess, that you are not enough. You're programmed to think that. That is not your fault. But you can stop the drama with it and feel good in your skin now and say, you know what? To heck with that. I deserve love today. It is not contingent on a number on the scale. I deserve love today. I deserve to feel good about myself today. I deserve to express myself fully in the world today. I deserve all of that today. So again, feeling good in your own skin starts with how you treat yourself today. And it starts with stopping, postponing those things that you've been holding off on until tomorrow. Stop. Today is the day. Now, this isn't to say that you can't acknowledge yourself for the things along the way that you do that you'd like to acknowledge. I would love you to do that. This is one of those ways that you acknowledge it. You acknowledge, I'm stepping up every single day and putting myself first and taking care of myself in a way that feels good to me. Yeah. So what? You're not at the place where the results match that effort yet necessarily. But that's only if you're measuring the results by the number on the scale or by the pant size. Those results are much further reaching than that. It's really, really narrow thinking to think, oh, it's only success if I reach this weight out here. Again, why I told you guys earlier, drop the need to lose a certain amount of weight in a certain amount of time. What about the results of the fact that, you've established a practice of being in movement? What about the results of the fact that you've established a practice of slowing down more when you eat, or of even taking any time whatsoever for yourself? So many of you do not have a lot of time for yourself right now, and that's understandable. Life moves really fast. But okay, so let's acknowledge the fact that you've taken time for yourself then. And that might even be able to be acknowledged in you buying those jeans right now. Or maybe it's something different. Maybe it's, deciding that you want to go see a movie that you've been wanting to see, or you want to go out and dance with your friends, or you want to go take a pottery class. Whatever it is, you deserve to acknowledge being alive right now. Because again, you're alive right now. You're not more alive tomorrow. I know it seems like I'm driving this point home especially hard, but it's because I've heard it so many times, and we believe that shit. We believe that story that we don't deserve it until we are where we want to be. And that's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And the sooner that you say, no, I deserve it today, the sooner that society will catch up. And that's the honest to goodness truth. So let me see if I have any questions. Yes, I do. Okay. So, okay. Katie, it really feels like a waste of money to buy the jeans today if I'm going to lose weight. Okay. Not really a question, a statement, but yeah, I appreciate the statement. It does feel like that. I'm not going to negate the fact that, I'm mindful about spending too. And so if I feel like I'm not going to use something that long, regardless of why that is, I'm less inclined to spend money. But here's how I will answer that. We're speaking about you as in this process of transformation. And when you're in the process of transformation, nothing is more important than your transformation. And sometimes that means, in fact, always that means investments in your transformation. And so the way that I would view that, and spending money on the jeans or the sweater or the blouse or whatever, or even something unrelated to clothing, could be your hair or something that you thought you were going to wait until tomorrow. Those investments help fuel your ability to reach your desired outcomes. And they put you in that mental state today, which helps the outcomes come to you even more quickly. Not overnight, but again, it puts you in that mindset of deserving, and then you start to feel like the effort that you're putting forth is worth it. And if money is really a concern for you, you'll find a way to strike a happy medium. You really will. Either, you'll buy the brand new jeans that you want and then resell them on, eBay or at a secondhand store, or, you'll find those same pair of jeans at a secondhand store in the first place to wear right now. Or maybe you'll wear them 5 days a week. I don't know. You will find a way to make it work for you, but I'm not going to take that as an excuse that you don't do it because you feel like you can't afford it and you need to wait till tomorrow when you've lost the weight. No, you do it now. So that's for all of you. You in showing your body you love it, in feeling good in your skin now, you dress the way that you want to feel now. So that's going a little over into the direction of when I do the confidence coaching and the image consulting, but it's all interrelated. You dress the way that you want to feel now. You do not have to wait until some date in the future that may or may not come. It is not guaranteed. You dress the way you want to feel now, and you notice that you feel a million times better. For me, when I was in transformation, I really I had like no money. I had taken a job part-time. I had left something that paid a lot more, and I was scraping by. But I still found ways to acknowledge myself in the process. I dressed myself the best that I possibly could during that period of transition, even though it broke my heart to have to get rid of all of that stuff. I got rid of all of it. And yes, it hurt. I bought new stuff. And you know what? Feeling good when I was out in the world, because most of the time is when, you're out in the world, you're going to work, you're, doing other things than your mindful eating, or other things than your movement, or other things than your affirmations. You're out there in the world. It's great to just embody it when you're out there anyway. It just makes the whole process feel a lot more worth it, is my point. And again, that's something that I did. So another suggestion that I have is that you pick an affirmation for yourself, speaking of affirmations, and you write one on the mirror. I don't care what it is, but when you see it every day, it will start to sink in. And, you could think of what you would want to tell your best friend, like, hey, gorgeous, or hey, hot stuff, or how's it going, beautiful, or whatever. And just write that on the mirror and know that it's just as applicable to you. So another thing that I'll say is, I mentioned this point earlier, but I want to come back to it. What I instruct my clients to do is to just put that scale away. You don't need to know how much you weigh. They weigh you at the doctor's. That's good enough. For me, I think I get weighed like once a year. You can measure how you feel in your body with how you feel in your body, or how your clothes fit. I don't want you guys to go back to that measure of success being the scale. The measure of success is how you feel every day, how you feel being in movement, and how you feel in being able to eat what you desire to eat, and how it feels going into your body, and how you feel carrying yourself out in the world. Looks like I have another question. Hold on just a second. Okay. The question is, Katie, I hate working out. I don't know what to do. I've tried everything. I hate working out. Help me. Okay. Thank you for the question, or for the statement. Many people hate working out. I don't love the term working out or exercise either. That's why I prefer to say movement. What I would like you to do is to do a list of 3 to 5 ways in which you would enjoy being in movement. It can be as simple as walking upstairs. It could be as simple as walking in the park. It could be as simple as, I don't know, joining the company softball team. It could be as simple as deciding to go swimming. It really, I don't really care what it is, but I'd like you to do this list of 3 to 5 ways in which you think you'd enjoy being in movement. And then I want you to pick one of those things this week and try it. And if it's something that's like a class, see if they have an intro. See if it's a free intro and you can just go and, not worry about paying for it and just try it out. But just start somewhere. You deserve to feel good in your body. You do not need to have to push yourself through like hating to work out. Like, it should never be hating to work out. Certainly, yes, for me, there are times when I don't feel like being in movement. Yeah, that definitely happens. But once I'm in movement, that goes away. And so sticking with something that I enjoy doing, which in my case, most of the time is running, allows me to, and encourages me to continue doing it, even when, there are those days when I don't feel like doing it. I'm much more inclined to keep doing it because, and in fact I have, because I chose something that that I enjoyed. So again, your assignment is write down 3 to 5 things that you would enjoy doing. Pick one and just try it this week. And again, it can be really, really, really simple and easy. Just something to start with. Okay, let me see here. Okay, so another thing that I'll say is two two C's are going to get you through your transformation from where you are now, not feeling good in your body, not feeling comfortable with your body, feeling like you've been dieting forever on a roller coaster. It's drama, it works, and then you're off the roller coaster and you have to get back on it in order for it to work again. Are compassion and commitment. So the compassion piece is that no matter what you've done in that day, if you feel like you've just totally gone off the charts and you know, oh, yeah, I didn't eat mindfully today. I went to a birthday party and then I went to a dinner party and then I had drinks all night, okay. So we acknowledge that for what it is, which is not exactly how you felt like you wanted to be, but life happens. So one of the C's, compassion, we apply compassion and we say, okay, I wasn't as mindful as I might have wanted to be. Maybe that happens over the course of a weekend or over a week. Sometimes with vacation that happens. Sometimes you go on vacation for 3 weeks and then it happens. That's fine. You have compassion and then you come back to where you want to be. So the commitment piece of it is the coming back to where you want to be. So you have compassion. You say, I didn't do the thing that I wanted to do in the way that I wanted to do it. Oh, well, I'm human. I still love myself anyway. I'm going to keep going. The commitment piece is I'm going to keep going. So it doesn't matter what yesterday looked like. Today is different. I can make a new choice today. And so that's how you approach it. Even if it's been, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, since you feel like you've been in movement or since you feel like you've really been mindful about, what you're eating, you can come back to it. But give yourself compassion. Okay, that's the main thing. So I don't think I have any other questions. I appreciate you guys staying with me so far, so good. I wanted to try to keep this to 45 minutes. I'm a little over. But I just wanted to talk to you really quick about one of my coaching packages. I actually haven't offered this publicly yet. It's only for, word of mouth and people who get referred to me. But I wanted to let you know about it. And I have a Love Your Body Success program. And I think it's pretty amazing. So some of you spend upwards of, I don't know, $500, $700, $1,000, $1,500 a month getting assistance on quote unquote losing weight, right? You go to, weight loss program, you go to nutritionists, you go to dietitians, you go to, coaches, therapists, whatever. And not to say any of that is bad, but you probably wouldn't be on this webinar if you didn't want to change something. There's something about what you've been doing that isn't working. And so if you feel like the change is imminent enough, like you're ready to say, okay, I'm done with all that drama. I'm ready to have the body that I desire to have now. Then I encourage you to consider my Love Your Body program. So it's 3 months. You get, like I said, a tailored plan. So it's a quote unquote plan. It's not a diet plan exactly. Again, I don't believe in diets, but it's a tailored plan based on your life, your lifestyle, how much time you have, what your budget is, what's possible for you and feasible for you. It's based around all of that, incorporates every element of that. It's not generalized like some of the, the bigger weight loss systems that you can be a part of. It's personalized, tailored to you. So you get that. You get support around the plan. You get access to me and you get my coaching. So if support is something that you've been feeling like you've been missing, like you feel like you've been trying this on your own for so long and you just have not gotten where you wanted to get, maybe support is the missing piece for you. Just a place where you can be supported and witnessed and held and encouraged in a way that's not about dieting, in a way that's not about, congratulations, here's a gold star, you lost 2 pounds this week. Yes, I belonged to Weight Watchers when I was 16, I know. And this is no offense to Weight Watchers, but what I'm saying is, I know that the way that I want you to view success is different than that. So that's why I bring that point forth. If support is what you seek, that's what you will get with me. I also have this, I take it on a rolling basis, but I also have group success calls so that you can be supported by other women if you choose to do so. You don't have to, but sometimes it's nice to be able to talk to other people because what I'm proposing is so different. I don't hear hardly anybody talking about, you know, oh, you don't have to diet to have the body that you want. It's like, what? So you're going to get a lot of resistance out there if you attempt to do this. You know, if you attempt to do intuitive eating and you attempt to say, you know, never dieting again, you're going to get a lot of resistance. You're going to get a lot of, you know, converse messaging out there from people that you know, people in your life, friends of yours. I mean, people, you know, that you have had entire relationships around losing weight. We all have. We have all had relationships around oh, you know, like, good for you, you didn't touch the cookie, or keep me accountable, and all that kind of crap. Okay, so no more of that here. My group success calls are about lifting you up, not about, oh, you know, let's give you a gold star because you didn't eat the cookie, or, you know, you didn't touch the ice cream. No, let's give you a gold star because you're showing up for yourself in your life, because you're putting yourself first, because no matter what your spouse needs, your kids need, your boss needs, you're still putting yourself first in your own life. That's what the group success call is for. And so you're also going to get my Love Your Body special package, which I'll send you in the mail with a lot of goodies. And I, from time to time, will do some guest calls. And so you'll be able to be in on that as well. And you will get first dibs on my new offerings as I release them. So it's something, again, if you feel like you're ready for a real change, okay, you're not just ready for another diet plan, you know, another, yes, if you know, cut back 500 calories a day or 500 calories a week, and you know, only eat kale, and you go on the treadmill 30 minutes a day, that you're going to get this guaranteed result. It's not like that. So this is going to be something that we work out together to get you the best possible plan so that you can put that in motion and drop all this drama forever and quit wasting money on cardboard tasting box dinners and, you know, programs and consultants and all this other stuff. So if you're ready for that, I am going to give you a link, and I just invite you to chat with me. So, you know, just to see if it's something that you think that you would benefit from. And I won't let you do it if I don't think that you would, you know, or if it just seems like you've got too much else going on in your life. But I encourage you to at least schedule some time to chat with me. So I put some links right here for you guys. There we go. So if you know that the program is right for you here and now, again, I accept people on a rolling basis. You know, I've included the link for you to put down your deposit. Go ahead and hop on my mailing list. I love to send out goodies and helpful tips and hints. And so I would love to have you on there and just be able to keep you in the know if you're not already on my list. I also share things on my Facebook page and on my website too, so you can find out more. If you're interested in doing a consultation to determine if the program is right for you, I'm going to give you my email address. And feel free to email me anytime. And, you know, there's no obligation. I just want to make sure that if I'm able to help you and the time is now for you, that I'm there to do so. And so please, like I said, reach out and I will let you know if I think that it's right for you, or if there's something else that I might suggest for you. You know, I'll give you some suggestions as far as what you can do in your own life right here, right now. So again, this is Katie with Beauty for All Colors. And thank you all for joining me. And if you're watching the recording, again, thank you for watching. And I hope that you have a beautiful evening. Bye.